Hello, and welcome to Stilks. I'm here, drinking tea. Delicious tea. You may have noticed a lack of videos on our channel. All 5 of you who are watching. And you'll notice in this podcast that we intended to release this before final exams. However, it went on for a really long time, and exams started popping up, and we're getting our grades for university, and you just got swamped with work. We had final projects and all this different stuff, and there was no way we could handle it. And then, because I pretty much handle all the editing on the channel, all the edit stuff, that's all me, and it's a lot of work, especially for Canime, where I have to continually switch pictures. So, and then once we got back into school, immediately I had a project in every single class. Literally, I have 4 projects, one for each class, and they're all like fucking essays and shit. And I was too busy and I couldn't fucking do anything. So, in light of that, as this will be Canime, we finally got that out. There's a couple of announcements that I'm going to make that will be in some permanent effect. Editing Canime as I did in the previous 2 episodes, where I'm continuously changing images. I have to find all new. It's just a lot of work, and it's not going to happen anymore. From now on, we're just going to put up the Canime picture like this, and we're just going to fucking leave it there for the entire thing. It's a podcast. You're there to listen to it, not to watch it. I'm thinking about changing it over to kind of like one of those not Google calls, but like a Skype thing, and you'll be able to see our faces as we're talking. Thinking about doing that. And that might be, but at least for this one and for the next few ones, we're probably just going to have the Canime picture up. Secondly, tons of stuff has been going on with Steven, so he's been unavailable to record for the past few months. The FTL series didn't do well. People aren't liking it too much. I'm not as good on my own as I am with groups, and I'm trying to work on that. So I decided to pick out a game that had a bit more dialogue, so it wouldn't just be me talking 24/7. So there will be a bunch of banner sagas, and I'm doing that solely. That will come out. Originally, it was supposed to be some other games, but I couldn't get the broadcasting software to properly work. So yeah, stuck with the Banner Saga is a pretty good game though, and I was really excited to do it. So that should be, pretty good. So those are the 2 things that working. We have we have a cool Canime episode coming up after this that we're trying to do with another person. And so, yeah, I just made this quickly at the beginning of the video to explain what's going on. With the addition of the Banner Saga, assuming I have time to edit those, because I do a full recording now as opposed to the 10 minutes and then the thing going off at the end of 10 minutes. So I'll try to edit that all in one. I got about 2 hours of recorded content, so I can edit that all and hopefully edit that all really quickly, divide it up and release that, and we should be getting back to a regular schedule. Canime people are busy. It wasn't just my classes, it was a lot of people's classes. The teachers instantly swamped us with tons of work. So as soon as we can get everyone free for a couple of hours, we're going to do a Canime episode, and hopefully we can get back to our regular schedules. So yeah, I just want to make this to update you and see what's going on, and that's it. Thanks for listening to me ramble for the past however long it's been, and please enjoy the Canime that was supposed to be released in December. Thank you, and signing off.
We're on.
Meanwhile, we just spent literally
about
half an hour trying to figure out what the fuck to talk about. Okay, so first thing, the show, although this is only the 3rd episode, is going on hiatus. We are busy. We have exams coming up, as well as a number of culminating projects and such. And we just don't have the time to get together and do this. The next episode will be after the exams, which occur around the end of January, right, Liam?
Around there, yeah. At least for us. What about you, Jordan? Yeah, same for me.
Okay, yeah. So we're going to do that. We'll come, and as soon as we've done that, we'll come back with a new episode, which will be about um, strong female protagonists in anime and strong female characters in anime, and we'll have some female guests on to talk about it.
I feel like we may be referencing Kill la Kill a lot in that anime. In that one, like anime.
Or the VN that I was reading.
Yeah, so there's much. So for this one, we're just going to go through different genres and talk about our opinions on them. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
So,
Max is just going to throw a thing, and we're just going to yell at it.
I have a list of different, what they're calling a complete list. And we're going to go, and they're missing a bunch anyway. Oh, this is going to be great. Alright, I'm going to combine some. I'm going to go action and adventure.
Okay, Joe, you two go first.
I enjoy action and adventure, honestly, just because it's just fun. Not much to really think about. Adventure leads to a good plot sometimes.
I guess, okay, fine, we're going to separate them. Action, when I say action, we're going to talk about the ones with no plot, it's just blowing shit up.
Yes. So, Gurren Lagann, like we've been referencing the last 3 episodes.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to think of one that I remember, and I can't remember the fucking name.
I can assume that some parts of Tokyo Ghoul could be considered action. Just mindless fighting.
I guess, and it's not primarily, Tokyo Ghoul is dark fantasy.
Alright, fair enough. But yeah, just action, sit back, enjoy, watch the violence unfold before your very eyes. Right?
Yeah, I'm just letting you two talk, and then I'll go.
Jordan, you can go. I'm trying to find a very specific anime.
Fucking, I don't know what to say about action. You blow shit up. It's very common in mecha genre, I guess. Very common in shonen as well.
They seem to like
That's
to
what I
mix
have to say about it.
They like to combine it a lot with ecchi a lot. I seem to find. If not, it's not, and it's just fun.
It's mech. It's either mech or yeah.
I mean, I'm going through some of the action stuff, and it's not all about, giant robots, though. Some of it's just fighting, violence, or something that involves explosion and very big physical conflict to a degree.
Yeah.
With 3 Narutos under the action veil.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of shonen is listed here.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, the majority of those, like One Piece, is Luffy going around and beating up bad guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what it is.
The general feel for action is, if there's something I'm having a hard time beating, either my belief in my friends, the belief in myself, or just punching it harder will solve my problems.
See, Liam's got it down pat. I don't need to talk.
Well, elaboration could be nice in some things, right? I find the whole thing where it's it always has to be belief in friends or yourself, just tries to drag out a whole drama into it. So there's always a conflict between allies, so they have to make up mid-fight and work together to defeat the enemy, or find some way to boost their confidence, which just
A lot. I searched up list of action anime on Wikipedia, and a lot of these also have something notable about all these that I'm finding is that a lot of them have also humorous moments mixed in.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a similarity they all share.
Yeah. They all seem to be they all either have perverted and comedic elements added on.
Yeah.
And special, I should say. If not, they also have horror.
Yeah.
Which is, not over the top.
Well, what do you mean by that? Because I don't get. What do you mean by like they also have horror? Like, name an example.
I'm seeing Hell Girl, Two Mirrors, and I don't know. That's about it, actually.
I just consider those like pure violence, not so much action.
Okay.
I guess I have a different definition of action than the regular one.
Some people view that if you can eventually see guts and or bone and blood, it's horror, which I don't buy.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. I think that's just violence. That's
Just
action.
gore, not entertainment.
Yeah.
Gore can add to a feel of a scene, but generally it's just there for the scream and shock value.
Yeah. I don't think, like... I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say. Keep going.
I don't know. What else should we do? What's another...
I'm trying to find... There's this one anime. Jordan, you may know what it is, Liam. It's about this guy, and they're in a futuristic civilization, and the character in the English dub is played by Patrick Seitz, I think. And he's the guy who did the voice for Frankie from One Piece.
Super.
In English.
Yeah, I
At
can't.
least I think it's him. And he's the guy in the future society, and he's the priest who has an obsession with little girls.
What? I couldn't hear you. I actually couldn't hear you. Speak up.
He plays that. It's a priest, and he's obsessed with little girls, and he fights.
Oh no, I don't know this at all. Sorry, you lost me.
And it's his one weakness.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna find it. I just can't.
All right.
I'll come back to it.
Yeah. Well.
I'll come back to it.
All right.
Somebody, just find something else, Max. I have nothing to contribute to this right now.
Okay. Let's go adventure.
Adventure.
Okay.
Typically,
this is kind of a weird one. Like, what do you define as adventure, really?
The description, like if here I'm going to sum it up, it deals a lot with characters moving around and exploring new places, which One Piece would go under there because they're always discovering new islands.
it's not technically discovering. It's more like going and discovering it for themselves, not discovering new islands type thing.
Yeah, the anime itself,
this up and see.
A well-formed storyline, due to the nature of viewers often get bored and annoyed at slow progression.
It also seems to be a discovery of oneself, if anything, because I'm seeing a card game anime in here. So...
Yeah, I'm seeing too. I think we're looking at the same site.
I'm on Crunchyroll, so...
Oh, okay.
So it's like half self-discovery, half moving. It's generally for adventure, I would summarize it as characters developing and growing. So there's a character arc, if anything. Kind of like with Gurren Lagann, you see Simoon going from a wimpy little brat who can't do anything without his brother to a Bamf.
We've talked about Gurren Lagann enough, though. Give another example. What would be classified as adventure, though? Because adventure's so weird to me. It's like, what do you mean? Walking around discovering shit? Because not a whole lot of anime I know do that.
Okay, here. Hajime no Ippo, the boxing anime.
Is that an adventure?
Yeah, that's under adventure for
I would
me.
argue that's martial arts.
That's classified as adventure? What the fuck? See,
Well,
that doesn't classify as adventure.
That's where my whole it's a arc can also represent a character arc, because Ippo goes from being this wimp to
Found it! I finally fucking found it.
Yeah. So
Yay!
here.
Okay,
Needless.
let's cut off the.
Needless.
What's it called?
Needless.
Needless.
Oh, I tried reading that. I got confused after the first chapter. Mostly because they showed this one character and then they never mentioned him again for like the entire second chapter.
This looks like a generic shonen.
Needless?
It is action complete, but it's definition action. The anime is literally, the plot is literally, it's weird because it went for like an Akira-esque feel backstory, which made basically there was this guy who was super powerful and undefeatable, and then he got defeated, and then he got turned
what's
into
Akira?
a fight, and it's all literally the entire anime, no plot, nothing happens. He just fights people and touches little girls.
See, you just mentioned two animes I don't know because I don't know what Akira is.
Akira.
You've never heard of Akira?
Is it spelled Akira?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the movie I
Akira.
just watched.
Okay, I thought you were talking about I'm like, what the fuck is this IKEA anime?
Yeah.
You have seen it.
Max, you need to learn to pronounce, please.
Well, technically, they can't really blame us for that because we're not.
No, but it's clearly an A though. It's like if you said like A doesn't make an I noise, Liam. I'm sorry, it just doesn't.
Anyway,
AI makes an I sound.
Yeah, but that's not how it's spelled.
I'm looking at this. I'm just looking at the cover.
I said Akira, right?
Akira, yeah.
Yeah, it's Akira.
Yeah.
That's how it's pronounced.
Akira, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Akira.
Yeah.
How would you say it, Jordan?
It'd be Akira.
No, it's
Or
Akira.
Akira. You said Ikira. Like, it was an IKEA anime.
In the English...
Okay, let's just get over, like, the pronunciation thing and move on.
Yeah, but
me being
I'm
dumb.
just gonna say it, in the English dub, they switch the enunciation for that a lot, so it doesn't really matter. Moving along!
Okay, I just read, like, the manga.
Okay. I'm gonna skip that one. Just fucking work. Demons.
Demons? Is that a genre?
Demons is a genre? What?
Yeah, it's considered a genre. Anything,
Okay.
deals with evil spirits, demons as a principal idea.
Mostly is ecchi. Yeah.
It's either ecchi comedy or, like, horror for me. Like, I would see that being in horror a lot.
Yeah.
That...
More so in form than the latter for me.
You know what's really good? What I really liked? That's a demon anime? Black Butler.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
People are getting...
Especially when it gets to, like, the witch art.
It seems like it's a bit, obvious answer, yada, yada, yada.
Stop cutting me off, you fucking bastard. Max, you keep cutting me off, you fucking bastard.
Anyway, moving along.
Okay, you know what? Here, Max, help me regulate this so that I don't yell at you. Okay. You go first, and I go second, because I'm more submissive. So.
Okay.
Oh my, Jordan!
Yes, I fully admit I'm a submissive. Right? Wink, wink, lady.
Okay. So, Black Butler, demon, it's the obvious choice. Yeah, it is the really obvious choice, but that's not why I bring it up. Black Butler is an exceedingly interesting anime. The reason is, as far as I've seen, it's the only anime I have ever seen that's been able to combine both horror, like dark fantasy and dark themes and comedy together in a way that actually flows and is enjoyable.
Okay, yeah. I see what
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the whole circus thing coming out?
Okay, I've read the manga.
Came out, Liam, and I thought I don't like the circus arc as much as the newer arc, but I still think it's pretty good.
I've yet to watch it, and the reason was I've been waiting for it to be out completely because I don't want to wait between episodes.
Yeah.
So I like to marathon through my stuff.
Fair enough.
And so now I'm starting to watch it through. However, this is the most hyped Black Butler arc I've ever been hyped for because I've read the manga all the way up to the current issue.
Yeah, same.
Yep, same here. I read the manga.
And that arc was my favorite arc in the entire series.
It is twisted in the manga.
I disagree.
You disagree? You think it's not my favorite arc?
It's not my favorite arc at all. No.
Well, you can't.
You're not disagreeing with me. You're saying.
You can't disagree that it's Max's favorite arc. You can disagree that it's.
Okay. What's the proper grammar so I don't fuck up English?
We love you, Jordan. It's my favorite arc.
That bullet wound to the head is really affecting you today, Jordan.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Pablo, he's been running the mob. Yeah, I'm just kind of sitting here. being stupid again.
It's my favorite for a couple of reasons. One, it's in the anime. It's where they really introduce the side characters, like the chef and is his name Phil? Philly? Phil with an F.
No.
Fillion.
Fillion, yeah.
Yeah. Fillion, the chef, the maid. I like Fillion. Fillion's cool.
Philly is the gardener, not the chef.
Yeah. I said chef, Fillion, and maid.
Yeah.
In the anime, they introduced them a lot earlier, but that's the arc in the actual manga where they introduce them as the actual badasses they are.
Yeah.
That's the first time they introduced Philly having canon super strength combat ability. It's the first time that they showed that she was an assassin. And okay, spoilers. Obviously, there will be spoilers. Things will be spoiled. Starting now.
Liam. Liam, there will be spoilers, Liam.
Yeah, Liam. God, Liam.
Whatever.
In it.
Sorry, just the thing I noticed with Liam.
Yeah.
Because what happens in the arc is they figure out that that CL is trying to shut them down, so they send all the circus guys to the mansion, and they get slaughtered by the three the chef, Billion, and the maid.
The servants.
Yeah, the servants, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Also, it turns out, what's the old guy? Takara? Takeda.
Takashi?
Takeda, I think it is.
Something like that.
It's Takeda. It turns out he can fight too.
Yeah.
That was recently revealed. As well as Elizabeth can fight. That was pretty cool. But it's the first time they came out and actually went, full out swinging, and we could see what they do, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
In addition, it also is the first time in the manga, because in the anime, they lead it quickly into what happened to CL's parents, where that has not been revealed in the manga yet. We don't know what happened. That stuff with the angels and the demon hound stuff, all that doesn't happen in the manga.
Yeah. No,
that was specifically for the anime.
That was
because they needed an ending.
Yeah.
However, he was one of the. He's a very main villain of the guy who was running the circus. Is one of the guys who's connected to what happened to CL, and we got to see into that. We got to see some backstory in that, and we're getting a bit closer now. We got to take a step closer to that, finding out what happened to CL and what's going on.
Yeah.
Which was exceedingly interesting as well. And it has my favorite line in the entire or my favorite exchange in the entire anime.
Which is?
Because CL's going to kill the guy who runs the
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So there's the guy who owns the circus, and
right.
And they send the bones to him so he can produce it into amputated limbs.
Right.
Or the limbs they put on the amputated people.
Right.
I forget what they're called. And he sends them to those, and adding bone makes it more realistic and easier to use. Right. And so the circus steals the bones and gives it to him. And he's the guy who owns the circus and has adopted all of them. So CL's going to shut him down. He's going to kill him and put a bullet in his head and kill the guy. And so the guy who runs the circus, his adopted son, who's all of his friends by this point have been killed, but he didn't know that.
Right.
Essentially, he begs CL not to kill him because he realizes that they're horrible people and they're doing horrible things, but it was necessary for them to stay alive, and they owe him this much, and they need him to help them survive. Right. And CL has an amazing line that I love, and he says, "I don't think that," and I'm paraphrasing, I don't know the exact lines.
Right.
I do know the exact line later, but he's basically saying, you're not horrible people. You did what you needed to do to survive. In order for you to have a future, you had to steal the future of others.
Right.
Which is exactly what I'm going to do to you now.
Oh. Sorry, I just got interrupted by another call. I missed entirely what Max just said.
I just told them the ending where he shoots him in the head.
Right.
Oh, okay.
It also introduces my favorite servant, Snake.
Snake's pretty cool.
Says Oscar.
I just like it when they burned down the circus. That was cool. I like fire.
Well, we are people who fangirl and fanboy/fanboy, I don't know. Anyway, over Gurren Lagann, let's face it.
Yeah.
And it was
fire's cool.
We should have just done a podcast about Black Belt.
Anyway, we can do that. We can do that at a later date. Next genre.
Let's go comedy.
Okay. See, I had the best fake laugh out of all of you. I win at the fake laugh competition.
Anyway, comedy.
Okay, funny.
Anyone want to throw some things in there that aren't?
There's very few comedies I like. There's a few that are like comedy combines with stuff I like Angel Beats I loved, and it was hilarious.
Right.
Yup, I will agree with that.
The rocket chairs. In Angel Beats, there's these scenes where they have to pull these plans because they're trying to mess up Angel's test.
Right.
Oh, I know. Now I remember the.
And in order to distract her, she
class
straps
with,
a rocket to the bottom of these guys' chairs. And if their plan doesn't work, she launches them into the ceiling.
I remember. I see those on online. Teacher, truth be told, I'm actually super buff under this shirt.
And everyone looks at like, I can't. And it's like, okay, sit down now. Oh, and he sits down. Activates the rocket. And like the music starts playing the sad music. And then they get the other guy, and she's like, no, you're going to launch me. I promise I won't launch you. Okay. And so he proposes to her, and she's like, this is not the time, sit down to your test. And he's like, oh. And so the guy who got launched is laughing at him because the guy's going to get launched. And then she launches him instead.
Anyway,
I was dying that scene. It was so hilarious.
Okay, I figured I should probably just say this right now. I find that comedy in anime tends to be a lot more slapstick. Like, there's no actual
It's always either slapstick or pervy.
Yeah, like it.
Like, I don't like to use the term pervy a lot because it sort of demonizes certain sexual ideas, but
yeah,
in it, he's peeping or he's trying to grub things that are, by any definition, pervy.
And then, like, through misunderstandings, they tend to get something broken or hit, and it's just, I don't know. It's not always funny, you know?
That being said, there are pervy things that I find that are still hilarious, too. I mean, panty and stocking is a perfect example.
Yeah, no, but, like, again, with panty and stocking, that's more of shut your brain off and laugh at the stupidity that's going on in front of you type anime, right?
Yeah, a lot of the only like pervy like things I find funny is when it's so ridiculous it's stupid, like, and when it's so ridiculously over the top it's stupid. There was one I was watching. I didn't watch the anime, but I did watch the scene because I was looking at top 10 anime stuff after we did the last Canime episode.
Right.
And there's like top 10 pervy scenes, and there's this scene, I can't remember the anime, but he's making the girl suck on a popsicle. And it's like over the top, clearly symbolic, and there's like white popsicle juice going all over her. And like,
well,
like
I just
watching
missed
it,
the
like,
entirety of this discussion. Thank you, other call.
But good lord.
Fucking hell, they keep interrupting me.
It was so over the top and ridiculous.
Okay,
and, like,
wants to
back,
recap for me what the fuck Max is talking about.
We were talking.
This transitions really well into our next genre, ecchi.
Oh my fucking god! Okay, he was talking about something stupid. I'll know what it is.
You just watch the episode, bro. Anyway, ecchi.
Freezing. Zero note. I don't think there's much you can really comment on ecchi.
It's mostly panty shots and suggestive clothing.
It's what it is it's porn designed for people who haven't discovered porn yet.
Basically, and I don't know if you can really classify it as entertainment by itself.
I'm going to avoid talking about this one because I feel I'm going to be misogynistic again. Carry on, gentlemen.
Okay.
Yeah, Jordan was just telling me how he thinks that a woman's place is on her knees, and I was like, Jordan, that's not cool.
No.
See what happens when you don't say anything? Now shut up and contribute.
But anyway,
I don't know. I got pretty badly interrupted by like you and then my other call last time.
I'm giving you a platform. Speak.
Hello.
Yeah, it's all fan service. That's what it is.
And like I said
And
before,
here's the thing about fan service. Fan service is just fan service. I mean, it's like I can go to any site online, like I can go to any hentai site and get fan service. What fan service I find really sexy is when it's like when it's a girl.
I'm out. I'm leaving this
or
discussion.
guy, who I have a strong respect for. I don't know if that's just me, but if it's a girl or whatever that is really
respectable,
interesting as a character and as a person.
Likeable, very
right.
likable character.
Right.
Like Yoko is she's really cool. She's
a badass.
Quick with a sniper. She's a badass. I would much
oh my
rather
God,
watch
stop
fan service.
fucking girl. God.
All right.
People are gonna think that's the only anime we know. We've said it way too many times.
We also talked about Back
Okay, I'll go to a different one. Attack on Titan. Look at Annie. Annie's cool. She's got her.
No, I don't think she's cute. No, that's a bad example.
She said
I think
cool.
Mikasa's a better example.
You said cool.
Okay, which one do you like, Jordan?
I just said, I think Mikasa's a better example. I think Sasha's a better example. She's funny.
Yeah. I would rather watch fan service of those people than, just random people who are designed there for fan service, because they're
not
they're
2D. They're not cardboard. They're people. They're there. They have something else to look at.
I don't look, because they're a character, I don't think, it's a pair of boobs. I think it's Annie's or Misaka's pair of boobs. And it's a person. She's in that case, it's more of a sexual subject than a sexual object, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Another example for me is, less of, there are characters who I don't want fan service from. That they're just such great characters that I don't want to see that. I want to get to know them better, not see their panties or boobs or whatever.
And I guess I'll be the third wheel and say I'm not a lolicon. I don't like it when lollies have
You seem,
fanfic.
methinks Lady Doth protests too much.
God,
we weren't even talking about lolicons, and you're like, yeah, I don't like those.
No, because we're talking about fan service, and immediately what comes to mind when I think of fan service I don't want.
When we talked about fan service, okay.
Thank you, Max, for making it way worse. Thank you, Max.
I won't lie. The whole reason I said, there's characters who I don't want to...
Yeah, see, right when he said
that,
Max, right when he said that was when I went,
characters I get who are, it's a bit, I don't want to say inappropriate, it's characters you just don't regard in a sexual fashion.
Yeah. Not mentioning Hideyoshi. Anyway.
Hideyoshi, out of everyone, Hideyoshi is the one I want to see the most fan service of.
But at the same...
Hideyoshi? Who is this Hideyoshi person?
He is
a trap!
It's a trap. Yeah,
okay.
It's a trap. He is a guy, if you don't know what a trap is, he's a guy who looks very effeminate. And very much like a girl.
Basically...
What anime is he fucking from?
Back in the test.
Oh, okay. I had no interest in that.
Which was also...
I know what it is, and I know what it is.
Which was also very ecchi, but it was also very funny in a way. The entire time... one of the most pervy scenes in the entire anime is when they're trying to break into the girl's washroom. Or the bathroom.
Yeah.
However, they justify it the entire time by saying we need to figure out because I think he was getting
they were getting framed. Yeah, he
was getting framed. And obviously because it's a bathroom. But they're have strong moral convictions as to why, and that's the singular only reason. And then they finally get to it, and he finds out, and he's like, after all of this, I realized I just want to pee.
I love that moment. That was a glorious moment.
It's clearly you shouldn't be doing. That's the thing you shouldn't do. But it's just the pure emotion that's flowing into it. He's discovering himself as a person.
I realize now. I just wanted to peek.
I realize now. I just love boobs so much.
Alright,
and I got interrupted yet again. Interruption train.
Watch the episode. Okay. Anyway, next genre, what should we do?
Fantasy's not going to take very long. Fantasy. magic, swords.
Okay, I can talk about this one.
Magic, swords, ogres, bears. Bears!
You know what, you gentlemen, you just talk.
You know what,
Thank
Liam?
for interrupting
I'm sick of
me.
you and your bears. Bears are
I've
fictional
lost
characters.
all patience for humanity because of you and Max now.
Listen, I just want to clear something. Liam, I'm sick of you and bears. Bears are fictional animals, like dragons and unicorns and walruses. They are not.
I've never...
Alright, sorry. Sorry, I had to do that just to reference the completionist. Anyway, you were saying Jordan.
Jordan, go, Jordan.
Look at this bastard. He believes in bears. What a scrub.
I think we can mount too. Mountains, more like nothings.
Bears aren't real, but I found a whole wiki page about them.
Yeah, believe everything you read on the internet.
Yeah, the internet
Jordan,
can't always...
fantasy, go.
Okay, now I'm drawing a blank because that stupid bears thing.
Okay, I'll take fantasy until Jordan regains his memory from the bullet book.
Yeah, see there, that's a good plot point in a lot of fantasy, yeah.
If people don't get that reference, read our About section on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That's where it's
You
all
know,
about background.
you know, Max, I feel offended for you though. They say werewolves are fictional. I just feel offended for you. Mind you, I also feel offended because they also say aliens are fictional, but that's besides the point here.
Okay, I'm just going to do fantasy really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's fantasy. It's we all know what fantasy is. I mean, it's swords, it's wizards, it's magic, it's wonder, it's amazing. I love fantasy. Fantasy is my favorite genre of everything. All my books, if you look at my bookshelf, about 3/4 of my books are fantasy, and the other quarter is sci-fi.
Well, yeah, it's mostly because our reality sucks, let's face it.
Well, I don't think it's that.
I
reality
will be one person who says I like our reality, okay?
I think what it is, it's like where you have time off and you have a bunch of money. What do? You go on vacation. You go to an exotic land you've never seen.
Right.
That's why fantasy is so captivating. It's a new place. It's exotic. You've never seen it before.
Yeah.
And there's all these different things and different rules and such. And it's really cool and it's interesting. And it's like having a vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I got that.
Now I'm going to go to one of, Jordan, you have anything you want to finish before we move on to the next one?
I'm just hoping I won't get interrupted tenfold by
What were you saying?
2 people in this call and then the other call.
Okay, moving on. Cutting off Jordan, moving on. So for the next genre, well, you know what time it is, guys. It's time to duel.
Woo!
Card games? On motorcycles?
Games.
On
Games.
motorcycles.
Card games on
Card games on
motorcycles.
motorcycles.
I'm here to play a card game.
Oh! I can't.
On motorcycles!
I came to tell you. Card games on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles!
I also orgasmed a little bit. Ew.
I remember when I first, cause I'm a big Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! I grew up, that was my jam, man. I'm looking right now at like 5, well actually one of them's Pokemon. 4 different tins of like tin boxes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. They fit in a
Bitch,
suitcase.
please. I have the GameCube game and the 3 Game Boy Advance games. Right over there.
I have 2 of the Game Boy Advance games, and I have a couple of the Xbox games.
I read Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero.
Oh shit.
I watched Lil Karibo's abridged series of them.
Oh, Little Karibo. I have a shirt of Merrick Ishtar, a hoodie of Merrick Ishtar. From Lil Karibo. References and whatnot.
So let's go back. I love...
Yeah.
Games are always I love the game genre.
Yeah, no.
I want to quickly finish my point on Yu-Gi-Oh! I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! And I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and then I looked at 5Ds, and then it was card games on motorcycles. I'm like, oh god, no.
Just the name too. Just 5Ds just screamed to me like 5 dicks. What?
Yeah. I watched like the first few episodes of it. I didn't get much farther in it, and then I tried to watch the one after 5Ds, and they added like these Zero monsters, and I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah,
You can't add new rules.
They keep changing the rules too because they took out fusion monsters or whatever they called it, and tuner monsters from 5Ds and Zexal. So it's like
it's not cool, bro. That's my
childhood.
That is my childhood.
Yeah. Anyway.
The game is really interesting. Liam, I know you love No Game No Life, But they're always exceedingly interesting because it focuses less on physically fighting, which is very common in animes, and more on the psychological.
Yeah, so it's like mental combat, right?
And I love mental combat. I love it so much.
Yeah, I like to see
because it's my favorite kind of. It's one of my favorite kinds of combat. Outthinking and different shit. It's probably why I love Death Note so much too.
Yeah. Like
one of the great things is animes is one of the only sort of forms that they can really do it. You can do it in books as well, but it doesn't really transition well into TV shows and movies, I don't think.
Okay, I actually wanted to preface something before everyone interrupted me with a 2-minute 30 long discussion.
So, Liam, how was your day?
Alright, Jordan, you were saying?
Like, what do you mean by the game? What do you mean by game genre? Do you mean like adaptations of games, or freaking like anime based off like a game world, like Log Horizon or something?
Animes where they play games.
So basically,
okay, so it is okay, yeah.
Like Yu-Gi-Oh or No Game No Life,
or like what was it? What was the other one?
There's tons.
Yeah,
but
like card fight. Yeah,
there's tons.
Anime can, and I think anime is the best platform for game genres to really play out.
Yeah.
Because they can make, like, whenever I think of anime, like, Death Note, the scene with eating a chip.
Yeah.
Look how dramatic they made that. I take a chip, and then I eat it.
I'll take a potato chip and eat it. I like...
It's like a choir music. They add, like, the music to it.
But at the same time, it was dramatic because there was a whole reason for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but the reason game works so well in anime is because they can add these dramatic feelings and you can hear what's going on through their head. If you watch an actual chess game, it's not nearly as interesting.
When you watch a chess game in anime, you can see like...
He moves knight to G7. He's
Dude, he moved the fucking knight to G7. This was a tiny shit ever.
You know what, we're doing it right now. The differences between real life movies and anime.
Real life is boring.
Shut up, Liam. Let me finish. Wait.
See, now you're getting the...
Shut up, Jordan. Let me finish.
Fuck you, I get to interrupt you this one time.
That was not once, that was twice.
Both of you, shut up.
Okay.
This is real life. White moves knight to G7. That is a very difficult move for black because now his king is cornered and in check. Oh, now he moves his rook to block. Versus anime. He just moved his knight to G7. Is he crazy? Oh,
crap. What's his next move?
What do I do?
Dun 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 dun.
What is he planning?
Dun 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 dun.
Take the risk. Like all this just
could be a trap.
Dun 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 dun.
Like
I'll fall for it.
Admiral Akbar constantly in the background screaming, "It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a trap!" Activated my trap card. Okay.
You activated my trap.
And that's why it's so effective as a series.
Yeah.
What else are we missing? So next genre
will be next.
Huh?
What?
What?
He cut out.
Yeah.
Bye, Max.
Max.
No, we lost our buddy.
How long are we?
How long? We started around 11 o'clock. It's currently 11:48.
Okay,
so we're almost into an hour.
Yeah.
Let's
just finish it off now.
Let's do harem and then horror. Let's do harem, historical, horror, romance.
All right.
Okay.
Harem. Basically,
we've gone through this hundreds of times.
Yeah,
we've already gone through this.
We've covered it a lot.
We've covered it.
If you've seen the show, you know our opinion on harem. It's guy gets into misunderstandings, gets punched in the face, everyone laughs.
And occasionally, yeah, and occasionally gets some form of action. Insert Quagmire noise here.
It's if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. There's not really any middle ground to get into.
No depth. Yeah.
Let's move into historical. Historical is really cool. There's really two types of historical. There's like fictional historical and
Real.
non-fiction. Well, there's fictional and then there's like non-fictional, but you can never get it 100% accurate to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my historical I really liked was a manga called Vagabond, which is about Musashi, who is one of the greatest swordsmen of all time, and I really like him because he's the guy who got closest to a two-sword style. And he was a Ronin who traveled the country, and he became really popular in there. And the most important famous fight in all of Japanese history was between Hamashi and what's his name? It begins with an R.
I don't know.
Hamashi versus
I don't know. I don't know history.
Yeah. Especially not one that is not our own.
I know, like, we're Canadian.
We're...
Face.
Yeah.
Musashi, sorry, not Hamashi, Musashi.
Yeah.
Holy shit, 322 chapters.
Versus Kojiro, that's it. And that was like the biggest fight in Japanese. Because I actually do read a lot of
Liam, okay, I know you don't know this manga either. I just want to show you the advertisement they put for the first thing. And Max, put this picture in the podcast if you can.
Send it into link, let me check. It may be...
Furry triangle. Bravo, I applaud you people. I applaud you. Bottom right hand corner. We love beavers.
That's amazing.
What the hell is this guy in Ocean? No, never mind.
Anyway,
I love historicals, and as a result, like I watch, I can't remember all the names. I'm very bad with names. People know this. I read another one that took place right after the end of the Edo period, which it ended when the black ships forcibly opened Japan's borders, because up until then Japan had been isolated, and they're isolationists, and they're not isolationists anymore, but they still have an isolationist mindset. They're very xenophobic, and one of the reasons for that could be, and probably has a good chunk, is they were never willingly unisolated. They were forced because they brought, I'm trying to remember which country it was. It was European. It wasn't one of them.
England?
I think it was the Dutch. It wasn't England. I'll double check it. But the black, there's these ships that were black, and they brought in the Navy. Western vessels arriving in Japan from 16th to 19th century, and since they were there, they couldn't physically stop them, and they used their navy to force open trading. Portuguese. It was the Portuguese, and then the Netherlands came in.
Right.
And then the U.S. Navy steamed some more ships into the bay. A bunch of stuff, but and one of the interesting things about Japan at the time was because they didn't have any interaction with the other countries, they were very set back. So in the Edo period, they were still using swords when a large chunk, when the rest of the world, especially the Western world, were using guns.
Right.
And they had never seen things like guns or trains. And when they came in with their ships, they had no choice but to open their borders to them and do trade and whatnot. Although they were highly xenophobic, and they forced, for example, they allowed immigrants to come in, but only in like a secluded area.
Right.
Which they weren't allowed to leave and whatnot. But there's historicals that in order to understand this, you have to research these things and understand what's happening to understand these historicals. And as a result, I've had to actually learn different things about Japanese history to understand what's going on. At one point, I knew the different political parties and factions in the Civil War after the shogun allowed trade and opened up their borders.
Right.
I don't know it anymore because it's not really particularly useful, and I have so much other stuff I'm learning. But you have to learn these things for historical, and I always find them exceedingly interesting and different takes on what happened.
You don't have to learn it. The story isn't based off of. Well, I mean, like, if it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of the story, then you don't really have to learn the friggin' historical stuff. I'll disagree with that.
Well, usually in historicals, they're about that time or that person. So it focuses on how they interact with the world or how the world is interacting with each other. and
Yeah.
show you a glimpse into what life was like back then. So you have to kind of understand what's going on. You don't have to have a very detailed understanding. You just have to understand like the basics. And to be
Okay.
fair, most historicals do a decent background explanation.
Yeah, but I just, the one thing I don't really like about most historicals is that it always follows the fucking like, oh, this guy's from the future and he wore it back to the past and now he's a
Yeah.
fucking Nobunaga or whoever the hell.
Those
I
would
just
be
don't like that. They
those
should
would be
mix it up
under
enough.
fictional historicals. Stuff like Vagabonds, for example, is intended. Obviously, it's not what happened 100% completely accurate. You can't tell 100% what happened. You can tell what probably happened, what likely happened, but that's his version of history that he believes should be the most accurate,
Right.
or at least relatively accurate.
Okay,
So you don't have that.
we're coming up to an hour. We should probably get moving.
Okay.
Yeah, we should probably end this.
We'll do horror, and then we'll do love, and then we're done.
All right.
How about we just like cut one of those because an hour is like way too long.
Horror's not going to take. I don't think horror's going to take very long.
Okay,
I don't
let's
think.
go for it.
Not many people like horror. I don't personally. I'm not one for suspense and scary things, so I can't say much on this.
I don't think. Okay, I'm just gonna put a stickler on here, but I don't care. I'm just gonna say it right now. I don't think the anime art style can portray horror
Yes.
at all.
Yeah,
I think
that's
like how games is anime is a very good platform for games. It also has downsides. I don't think it's a very good platform for horror.
yeah,
It's good for scary mindfucky kind of stuff,
yeah.
like the mindfucks. It's very good for, but it's not
Like
good
mind
for
games.
scary by itself. Mindfuck wasn't on this list, unfortunately, but that's another genre.
Yeah, we should do a podcast on mindfuck now.
I think that's
Yeah.
called psychological.
Everyone refers to them as mindfucks, but I don't think it does very well.
Mindfuck.
If you compare it to, like, if you watch an anime horror and then you watch like a good movie horror like The Shining, it doesn't compare.
Yeah.
It just doesn't compare.
Right.
It's much.
Totally.
It just doesn't do as a job being as creepy
Mhm.
as it does on other platforms. I don't think.
Right.
Let's finish off with love and romance, and then we're done.
Okay, kissy, touchy, touchy, feely, feely. That is my contribution.
The
So-
greatest love story of all time, I believe, to be School Days. And
Fuck
I
you.
encourage everyone to watch. Yes.
Damn it.
Yeah, everyone watch School Days and then kill Max after you're done.
Don't watch.
Don't do it. Don't do it, guys.
I'm being sarcastic.
It's not. It's
What? Don't do what? Watch School Days or kill Max? Because I'm fine with both of those.
Don't watch School Days. I'm okay with the latter.
School Days as a piece of School Days as a piece of entertainment.
It's shit.
If you
Yeah.
go into
I
it,
referenced another podcast. I'm sorry.
As an artistic take on and a disassemblement of the harem
Romance.
genre,
yeah.
Does his job?
it is good, but it's not. It's entertainment wise, it's shit.
Yeah.
I personally prefer
love-
the romances that don't have stuff like this, like just crazy drama, just nice, soft romance stuff. To be
Nice
honest.
soft stuff.
I
Nice and
can't-
safe.
I can't comment on romance too much because most of the romance mangas I read are also hentai,
Fair enough.
Fucking, oh.
and I feel that doesn't really 100% do accurate to the
Genre.
I just don't like how every single shoujo has to be a romance. So that's just me.
Yeah.
Like you know, it's like a label on like shoujo is supposed to be a demographic of like teenage girls. I'm thinking. I
Yes.
don't know. I have to fix that.
It's
But like
teenage-
teenage girls have like other interests besides like, oh, I want to date a dude. And have these girls-
Shoujo is teenage boys, I think.
No, that's
No,
shonen.
it's-
Shonen, sorry, yeah.
Sojo is like girls.
Yeah.
It's,
And I think they deserve better. They have other interests besides like, oh, I want to be with a dude.
Well, that being said,
Jordan,
you have
you're
to take
not being misogynistic.
There you go,
Good.
yeah.
Good, it's my turn to come in and then point out why I think Jordan's wrong then.
Okay.
Here's the thing you have to take into consideration. Japan is not the same as
Western.
America or Canada or Western civilization in general.
Yeah.
In Japan, the amount of interaction between girls and guys has significantly decreased. In fact, Japan is going to have a severe birth crisis because people will not be engaging in coitus to produce more children.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
I see.
Because
Okay, now it makes sense. Yeah, you proved me wrong. Good job.
the one not misogynistic thing. Oh yeah, no, you're completely wrong. No.
Completely wrong.
Because of that lack of connection in Japan currently between guys and girls, where do most of the guys get their connection from in Japan?
Left hand.
Hey, no love for writing.
Typically in Japan, a lot of people are now taking to the internet to have their emotional needs met through porn, their 2D wife, girlfriends,
Waifu.
and how people are now having dinners, watching people eat and they're doing most of their emotional connection online. So as a result, there's not emotional connection between people. It's more of emotional connection to content. So as a result, in order for women in Japan, or girls of that age specifically, to have that emotional connections and contents that they need, they will have to go through shoujo. As well, keep in mind, in addition to that, girls who read shoujo would also technically be otaku.
True. And otaku, and much to contrary belief in the Western society, being an otaku is actually very bad. It's the equivalent of being a weeaboo.
Wait, what are you talking about? Much to contrast with Western society? I thought everyone thought that being an otaku was bad.
No,
it's pretty bad.
People go around
honestly.
bragging about being an otaku in Western society, but would reject
Really? Where the hell have you been?
Internet.
Okay, internet. Western internet.
Here's
Western real life, no. Western internet, yeah, sure.
I think the idea is it's changing a fair bit because gaming as well used to be an underground sort of hobby, and as that's gained more popularity, the American anime in America and Canada and the Western civilization has become more popular as well. Yeah. And as a result, although there's still snobbish people who sort of turn their noses up at anime, there's still snobbish people who turn their noses up at games, but it's not nearly as bad as it was, say, 20, 30 years ago.
Definitely.
And now, we have open conventions that are some of the biggest conventions in the world. I mean, lots of Comic-Con although it's not anime, it's a very similar premise. It's comics, like manga is a comic.
Yeah, and another good example would
be
like...
And people dress up like their favorite characters, like cosplay. It's not anime, but it's the Western equivalent.
Yeah, I think a better example, though, would be here, I think it's in Toronto they throw Anime North.
Anime North, yeah.
That's another good example.
So as bad as it is there, it's very bad here. If you were a girl who was an outed otaku, it would be very unlikely that you would be able to get a date at all, I would assume.
Yeah. So most likely, at least for a guy that you want, you'd probably wind up getting a male otaku as well, correct?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that makes I gotta move to Japan. Your selection's so narrow. Look at me, fat nerd. I would win so easily. Work on my part.
Got his dream of being a sex god.
I mean, let's get real here. I'm pretty good looking.
Good Lord, Max.
The only big reason is that I'm an asshole.
Max, if you believe in yourself, then put a picture of yourself right now on the podcast if you think you're that handsome.
Fine, I will.
Shit, he actually accepted.
Max Jordan, you were really expecting him not to?
I have to get a camera. My phone.
Even Max's standards, I thought. Now he just has no standards.
Oh fuck! I would have to take a selfie.
Oh no! Not the dreaded
selfie. Yes.
I took a selfie once in my life and regretted it ever since.
I had fun once. It was a traumatic experience. Referencing memes. Anyway, we good then? We got everything we needed?
Yeah, we good.
Yeah. But yeah, the most issue I have is I'm an asshole. That wouldn't enter into the equation if you compared me to that's a bit unfair. I'm sure there's plenty of attractive Asian otakus in Japan. I guess that's a bit unfair. But
Yeah. So yeah, should we close up or
just close up? Okay, let me do an outro because one thing we do.
Okay, one thing before we go into the outro. Just a reminder: we are going on hiatus for the entirety of Japan, and maybe a bit of February, depending on things.
Max?
Max, you said the hiatus in Japan, not January.
Sorry, what?
You said Japan, not January.
I did?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, hey, we're going on the hiatus of Japan, and then maybe February.
Fuck.
Oh, God. Max got his bullet in his head, too, now.
The transformations are messing with you, man.
It's fine, it's not silver. Okay, let me just try that again. Just a reminder, we're going on hiatus for January, and maybe some of Japan. So, that was intentional.
I know.
And maybe some of February. So, we won't be back until at some point in February, where we'll do probably we'll do a podcast on, strong female protagonists or strong female side characters.
Or Mindfuck.
I would want to do Mindfuck after. You really wanted to do this because you wanted to prove you're not a misogynist.
Yeah.
Jordan. And that will be the next episode, so we will be gone for a little bit. But to our listeners, thank you for listening this far, and have an enjoyable 2015, because this is the first chance we'll get to say this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so...
Okay. So, signing out. Bye.
Oh, you want to do an outro, Jordan?
Yeah, I want to do an outro, but does anyone have an idea of what to do for an outro? Because I kind of didn't.
All right. On that horrible note, signing off.
Yeah, see y'all later.